and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today I have this makeup. It's very simple. It's my updated everyday makeup look. I feel like this was necessary on my channel. I've got new products, some new and some that have stuck with me, but I've just created a kind of soft glam, very easy glam, not much on the lids. I'm not really using eyeshadow, lashes, but you don't have to wear them, and just a really nice dewy skin. So if you want to see how I achieved this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, for my everyday makeup look, I'm going to start off with skincare. Skincare is so important to me, and for this I'm going to be using my Foreo Luna 3. I'm going to be using my cleansing side to this device, and I'm just going to place it in water to dampen it to start off with, and then apply my henriksen. This is the Wonderfeel double cleanser. I'm going to apply this on, massage it on, dampen my skin, and then switch on the universal mode. This is going to have like T-sonic pulsations. It's absolutely unreal, and in circular motions, I am just going to cleanse my skin. This is especially good for someone that works out. After a workout, it's going to remove all that sweat and dirt, and it's just so important to cleanse the skin and make sure the skin is really, really clean before you apply anything onto it, because you don't want any blemishes. I just want to take care of my skin, and I think skincare is so important. Then I'm just going to remove this, and I only do that for about a minute, and wipe off the excess, wipe off any residue that there may be from the cleanser, and you can see my skin is so refreshed. And all I do is, because the Luna 3 is completely waterproof, I just wash it. Then I'm going to be using this really cool face mask. It's a hydrogel face mask that I got from TK Maxx the other day, and it was $4.99. And it's so weird. It's like a jelly kind of bright pink face mask. And I'm going to apply this onto the skin just to add a little bit of hydration. I do have more of a dry to dehydrated type of skin. So all of these products that I'm using, they are just best for me to keep my skin hydrated throughout the day. So I'm going to pop this on for about 15 minutes and then remove it. It did really leave my skin feeling super soft, really nice, really refreshed, and really plump as well, which is what I love. I don't always do skincare like masking, but I like to do it to make my skin look really nice. Then I'm going to be using the Glossier. This is the Future Dew Oil Serum. And I'm going to pop this on to my skin. I'm going to massage it all over. And this is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of similar to the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. Absolutely beautiful. Leaves a dewy radiance. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear in Toasty Toffee and the NARS Liquid Illuminator. I'm mixing these both together with a Bare Minerals brush. And then I'm going to apply this onto the skin. I actually really like this combo because Estee Lauder Double Wear on its own is way too thick for me. But mixing it with the Illuminator drops just really shears it out. And it gives you more of a kind of like dewy skin, my skin, but better look. And you guys know that I love that for foundation. I feel like if you look after your skin, you don't really need to wear that much foundation, which is what I love about skincare. So I'm just going to apply this and really buff it into the skin, and it still has that really nice radiance. Now for concealer, a long time love of mine is the Too Faced Sculpting Concealer. I love this concealer in Warm Sand. It just covers, it's a really good color for Asian skin types. I find a tan skin type is a really nice color, and it really disguises that dark circle without making it look ashy. So with my beauty blender again, I'm just going to dampen this and then bounce this off the skin, work that concealer into my under eyes, and I only really apply it to where I need it, so I kind of just need it underneath my eyes. And then I always go in for a little bit more. I always feel like I need a little bit more. I've always been like that all my life. So I'm just going to blend the excess out after I applied a little bit more. For around my mouth, I'm going to be using the Maybelline. This is the Anti-Age Eraser in the shade Tan. Now the reason why I'm using this around my mouth is because I do have a dark shadowing around my mouth area from pigmentation. And I like to counteract this, and Tan has got the most beautiful kind of orange tone to it, which really counteracts that. I feel like if I put the Too Faced on there, which I've tried, it goes a bit ashy. So using that color really works. Then I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty. This is the Overachiever Concealer in Nougat. And I wouldn't use this on an everyday. I would probably use, I don't have like a highlighting concealer that I use every day, but I use this one today, and oh my gosh, it is super pigmented. I put on way too much. You guys don't need this much at all. It was too much. So I had to work with it, and I am just blending this out using the brush, and then I'll go in with the beauty blender. What I would suggest is apply a lot less, but I do really like this concealer because I find that when I do use it, I rarely crease underneath my eyes, and I think that's in the formula. Then for bronzing, I like to cream bronze. I'm going to be using the MAC Watchmaster concealer in the shade 9. Beautiful orangey ready tone concealer, which I love for bronzing. And I'm going to apply this and then just blend this out. And it's important to blend this out. I took off the excess highlighter off that brush, and I'm just blending it out with that brush. The reason being is because when you've got a foundation mixing with your bronzer, your cream bronzer, it's going to look a lot more natural as opposed to a fresh clean brush. You're going to get a lot more bronzer on it, if that sort of makes sense. So I'm just using that to blend all the areas where I've bronzed, and this just brings a little bit of warmth back to the skin. Because you have highlighted, you need a little bit of definition and dimension. And then I'm just going to blend my nose bronzy area, and I wouldn't really call it a contour, into the corners of my eyes as well. I love bringing it up into the eyes. It's something that I do with my bronzer and my eyeshadow. Then for brows, I'm just brushing through them with a spoolie, and I'm going to be using my Benefit Brow Styler in the shade 4.5. I've been using this a lot recently, every single day actually, and I find that I love my Precisely My Brow, but I find that this is more of a natural brow for me because of the color. So if you want more of a bold brow, go for the shade 5. If you want more of a natural, go for 4.5. And then I always use my 24-hour brow setter on top just to set everything in place, and I love this product because my brow hairs do not move and it kind of just brushes them up really nicely as well. Then I'm going to be using my NARS translucent powder in Crystal, and I always take off the excess on the palm of my hand. And then I'm just going to pat this with a fluffy brush. I never do swipey motions. I just pat this on to the areas where I need it, so underneath my eyes and down at the T-zone area. I find that this powder doesn't have flashback either, which is amazing. And then if you want to be a bit more bougie, you can go in with a Too Faced powder in Sand. And this has got more of a yellow tone to it, or a beige yellow. And I just pop this underneath my eyes. Then everyone needs a snack, right? I got a little bit hungry. Everyone needs a snack. I've got creme brulee, so I'm just going to munch on that, and then I'll move on to the next step. Now for the next step, we're going to bronze again. We're going to add a powder bronzer on top of the cream bronzer, and I'm going to apply my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer with a really big fluffy brush just to all the places that we cream bronze to set that in place with really light hand motions. Nothing too hard. You want a really fluffy brush. You don't want it to be dense because you don't want to move any product underneath. Now for blusher, I'm going to be using my Software blushes from Lime Crime in Gigabyte and Wi-Fi. Mixing them both together, they make this beautiful peachy pink, and I'm popping that on the apples of the cheeks. And then for eyes, I'm going to be using a Throw the Shade palette. This is a contour palette from Makeup Obsession, but I like to use it on my eyes. I'm just going to pop it into my eye crease, and I don't actually do a lot for eyes at all. I pop it in my eye crease, and then I take it down towards like my nose contourish area, and I like to join the two. I feel like this kind of creates, I don't know, it just kind of all goes really nicely. And then I take the lighter yellowish tone and I pop this with a fluffy brush just on the eyelids to open up the eyes again. I do this just because, one, it sets the eyelid, and two, it's not a dark color. I don't want too much bronzer on my eyes. Then I'm going to go with my Laura Mercier highlighter, or any highlighter. It doesn't matter. I'll pick up anything and I'll pop this into my inner corners, and then sometimes on my brow bone as well, just to brighten that area. And adding onto my brow bone, and then I do my nose. I do like an exclamation mark on my nose, which I love, and I always apply, I don't always, but if I'm feeling for it, I will apply a little bit of highlighter on my cheekbones as well. I feel like this brings just a little bit of life to the skin, and on my Cupid's bow as well. Then I will just do a tiny wing. It's never anything crazy, just a small wing using my Benefit roller liner. And I've noticed that I don't actually like a wing how it is just a wing. So I always like to smoke out my wing. I feel like this looks a lot more softer than harsher, if you can see the difference here. It's tiny, it's a very small difference, but I do like more of a softer eye, as opposed to like I've got wing liner on, here's my sharp wing, you know? Then I will add a little bit of mascara. I always use my Maybelline Lash Sensational. It is honestly the best mascara ever. It's so good. And if you want, you can. I'm going to be using a little bit. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to go in with Lower Lash Bronzer. I'm going to use Give Me Sun underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to add lashes, which are the velour lashes in, I believe, Fluff, yeah? So I'll leave them down below anyway, whatever I'm using. And I always pinch them. This always takes me a little bit of time to put my lashes on, because I like to get them perfect. I will always go over the lash band with a little bit of liner, because the last thing you want is to be able to see glue. And I will always tie line as well with just any black kohl liner, and then I actually apply 2 coats of mascara on my lower lashes now. It makes them look a lot longer, which is what I like. And then for lips, I'm going to be using the LA Colors lip liner in chocolate. I always line my lips with this liner. It's a perfect shade of brown, and it's super affordable, really cheap, really good quality, and a beautiful color, really good for a nude lip. And then I'm going to be using a Colourpop Lippy Sticks. This is in Bronx, but you can use whatever kind of nude. And sometimes I don't do this step. I will just move straight in to gloss. But today I wanted a little bit of pink, and then I'll rub that in because I don't want too much lipstick on the lips. And then I'll always use my liner just to kind of outline and define to make sure it's all clear. And then I use my Fenty Gloss Bomb in Confetti. Now I've noticed that this comes in a set, and I really need it as an individual. I really need to buy it. I don't think they do it as an individual, so I might have to buy the set again, which is super annoying. But this is Confetti, the mini one, and then sometimes I go over with my Nude Sticks gloss in Lip Glaze Nude 04, which gives it more of a pinky kind of tone. And then I use a little bit of Patrick Tar Glow Face Mist and pop this over the face. And a little bit of Revolution's Essence Spray just to keep me hydrated throughout the day. And that, guys, is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave my social handle down below because I update on there every single day. And you can catch me more frequently on stories there as well. And that is it. I love you guys so very much. I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.